All right, this is BGS IBMOR, and as you see, he's talking about system. I believe it means save yourself, black men. Well, let's see what he has to say.
You can't win, Darth. If you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Well, that's very cool. I like the starting. Not bad.
This is strange. Well, this SYSPM and people are losing their goddamn minds. Okay? Low caste. Low caste. Come on, man. Get out of your female feelings, man. Shaming tactics do not work. Okay? They don't work. Logic works. And all you bring in is shaming tactics.
I don't know if they don't work. I think they work pretty good. Usually someone will come in, and if they disagree with you as a man, they'll call you an incel, and a lot of guys end up trying to defend themselves as not being an incel instead of making their point. So a lot of times it does work.
You haven't given black men a reason not to go, have you? Call it what it is. The pride, legacy, really? So all the facts that we bring up don't mean anything, because that's the whole thing. All you guys have is talking points and feelings. You don't have nothing to back it up, because if you try to back it up, guess what you're gonna find? You're gonna find the same things that we found.
Hold it down. What do you mean go back to the table and feelings? Men aren't going anywhere. Men aren't leaving anywhere. Matter of fact, this whole thing doesn't make any sense. Women are not begging men to stay. Men are going nowhere. Men are the ones who are begging the girls to be nice to them. BGS. That's what's going on. What it is, the girls have set up a price. You have to bribe women into your lives, and they've set the price too high. And so the guys aren't going anywhere. They're stuck.
I think SYSBM and BIBMOR before that, and MGTOW before that, and the Wall of Silence before that, and the gender war all the way to
Hold it. No, this is another thing I'd like to bring up. The switching of labels is a bad sign. When you switch labels up, it means the core problem to the first label hasn't changed. You know, a label is like a hand towel. It's a clean hand towel, and you're wiping dirty hands on it, which is the problem. And so eventually the towel gets so dirty that's more disgusting than dirty hands. So you throw it out, you get a new label, a new hand towel, and the process starts all over again. So for this system that, used to be IBMOR, used to be MGTOW, used to be the Wall of Silence, that means you haven't changed, BGS, the core problem. You're still wiping dirty hands on a clean towel. And the problem is the average guy is deselected by the average woman. The price to bribe her has gone through the roof, and he can't pay it. And guys cannot admit that.
Going all the way back to 2006, and the online gender war used to fight news groups back in 1992. It's the same damn thing. This is not new. I found video going all the way back to the 1960s saying the exact same thing. Your literature going all the way back to the 18th century, the 19th century, mid-19th century, 1850s, 1860s, say the same thing. Black people have a major dysfunction.
It shouldn't surprise you that you found literature all the way back to the mid-1800s. That's the Industrial Revolution. Every new era that brought in new technology and made life easier and safer made women want to avoid men more and more. Because The core problem is the girls never wanted to be chained to a man their whole life. Given the option, women choose to have, hang around female friends, have children when they feel like it, and to use as hostages to keep men's money rolling in without having to deal with the man. So the one thing men really have to deal with is that women don't really want to be with us anyway. And this is not just a black man problem. This is all races. Otherwise, MGTOW would only have black men in it.
The first started with the woman, okay? If we can't clean it up, which I don't think we can, because we don't have 2-3 generations to clean it up. To reverse all this bullshit that's gone on for the last, I would say, 56 years, it's going to take 3 generations to clean it up. We ain't got that time. In fact, it's over already. They're gonna mix. They're already mixing. The only thing that you can do, which is something I told all the women, you don't want them to mix, you don't want them to go any place, take them out of the schools. Open up your own black school.
For one thing, I mean, what would you, BGS, think that there's going to be 2 or 3 generations of people willing to fix it? I'm Gen X. You're a boomer. We sat on our hands as things got worse and worse and worse over decades. So if we weren't able to get up and do anything about it, what makes you think that the next generation will? This is a very good question. No one ever answers it. I mean, what I do see is that the older generation, who had it easier than the younger generation, that is, the women were still giving a low enough cost for men to bribe, they're looking at the younger generation saying, what's wrong with you guys? Why weren't you just born in a good era? There's got to be something wrong with you on a personal level, ignoring the fact that it's environmental change that changed things. The female and male model haven't changed one iota since the Stone Age.
Stop sending your kids to white-dominated schools, white Prussian school system schools, next to white Latina girls. You don't want to do that? Don't even talk to me about this, because
also, what's wrong with race mixing? Are you a black nationalist? I'm a paleface. I don't care if I got in a time machine and went 100 years in the future and found out there were no white people. I wouldn't give a shit.
Because it's already over. It doesn't matter. The people in SYSB are already married. They already have girlfriends. They already have the girlfriends that are out of the country. There's one dude that was on my panel. He's got 58.
Doubt it, BGS. Because if they were able to do that, there wouldn't be any perceived problem. Your channel would not exist. I doubt these guys are getting married and have girlfriends. If they do, then they wouldn't care what black women thought. If you were happy with some other race, whether it's Hispanic or otherwise, because that's how men actually operate. A guy gets it good in his personal life, and then all of a sudden, politics are just something he kind of talks about to entertain himself. Everything's all right in the world.
1,000 people in his Facebook group that travel on a regular basis. You're trying to sell something that doesn't have any value. The guys have already come back to the table. The ones that will come back to the table have already come back to the table and said, wait a minute, we're settling for this? We're settling for these attitudes?
Oh, here's another thing too. It's like, these guys who've gone out of the country and got their girlfriend, what country did they go to, BGS? Did they go to like Belgium or France or Sweden? I doubt it. I suspect that these guys have probably gone to Mexico or Argentina, Philippines, someplace where the price to bribe a woman is lower. And that's how come they get their girlfriends there. And men are not coming back to the table. You see, the coming back to the table suggests that there is negotiation going on. There isn't a negotiation going on. The girls are saying, this is our price. You can't pay it. And so there's nothing happening. What it is the average guy is a peasant wants to get into the courtyard, and there's a toll booth saying you need 10 copper to get in here. And the average guy has 2 copper. So he's shouting up at the window, at the castle window, please let us in. And the nobility there, the girls say, well, show us your 10 copper, otherwise go away.
Even I've had women say that women are not going to get straight until guys leave in enough numbers. Basically, that's pretty much happened already. The thing is, it hasn't happened to the older women. The women that are talking, hasn't happened to them because they have been indoctrinated different. Those Z's, I should say late millennials, they're already gone. They're already gone. People like my son, they're already gone. They're not coming back.
They're not gone anywhere. They couldn't pay the price. So maybe they've found someone that they could pay the price. That's what you mean by gone.
The first thing they would say, I don't want to date anybody like my mother. It used to be you look for someone like your mother. You don't anymore. They don't anymore. You can't shame them into coming back. Now you can come up with talking points and shaming tactics like we're bitch ass niggas. Okay, well fine, we're bitch ass niggas. You're calling us bitch ass niggas before that. That's not gonna do any good because there will be all kinds of bitch ass niggas to be happy. I have pro-black, hardcore conscious community people that do not want to go any place else. But the thing is, the steady situations with black women have gotten so bad, they're thinking about jumping the fence.
Well, here's another thing, like all this talk about community. Really, if you're a young black man who lives in Chicago and there's no jobs there, and that's where your community is, your family and your friends, but there's work in Cincinnati, and he moves to Cincinnati, is his community going to uproot and come with him? No, I mean, the modern day living BGS defeats community. It destroys it. So I don't think there's any point in talking about communities unless there's other changes.